Hello and welcome to my knife channel. Well, I just wanted to show you, that I will tell you if anything happens or if anything that I find bad about a knife or anything like that goes on. And these little toothpick knives are excellent. Man, I'm using them for all kinds of stuff all the time. You get a new knife a lot of times and it's got gunk in between the ridges right there. Well, I'll just pop this little puppy out. It's usually sitting right next to me. And this is where I keep a lot of my knives. It's not the best way to store it and stuff, but I mean, they bounce around and everything, but they're right there and available. And all this is a plastic insert. I have this stacked on top of another knife next to a big cardboard box full of knives because now that I'm retired, I can look at and use more knives each day than, when you go off to work, you would pack one or two knives with you and you'd be stuck with that. But when you're at home at the source where you got all your knives, you can use anything. And yes, these Rough Riders are Chinese knives, and they're inexpensive, but they're well made and they're handmade. I mean, so you look at, all right, we look at German knives, like precision knives, and I can link a video where the Verstoff factory or something, probably butchering the name, begins with a W, but in Germany, robots are building those knives, man. I mean, there's some hand fitting and there's some people involved with it, but basically, robots are doing all the main work on your knives. Robots. Robots don't have a nationality. They're not Chinese. They're not American. Yes, they're German-made robots. I mean, I used to work in Intel Corporation with a lot of robots, worked on stuff like that. And if you've got something that's repetitive and needs to be done the same way over and over again, it's better to put a machine in there than a person, because a person's going to get distracted. It takes a lot of concentration to be in a repetitive task and do it well over and over again as a human. For a robot, it's nothing. So most companies, if they have stuff, like they say, oh, bring American manufacturing jobs back to America. Guess what? It's not going to be Americans most of the time that are doing that. Yeah, it's going to be robots. And yeah, I mean, you can be an American worker and work on robots and basically change your job. But I mean, for those people that think that Chinese knives are junk and all this other stuff, that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. I don't think they're junk. And for people on a fixed income like myself, if this was a GEC right here, the sucker be like $100 or more. $100. Now, if you're just getting into traditional knives and you go, ooh, I wonder what a toothpick knife would be like, you can buy American. You can spend over $100. Maybe you can get a case or something, that's close like this, 60 something. But still, for people on a fixed income, $60 is a lot of money. Now, you can take that $60 and you can get this one American-made knife and look at it and and I want to reach that. I'm an American, I mean, I served in my country's military for 6 years. I'm more than just, enthusiastic about America, So I really like to support America whenever I can, but I realize that, as far as the price range goes, a Chinese knife will get you into a traditional knife, like Rough Rider. These are well made enough that for the price that you're getting them, this is like $7 or $8, when they're originally out. Once they go out, the pattern goes out like tortoiseshell. Whenever that pattern slips off and they start going to something else, they probably won't make them anymore. And you'll notice right there that the shields are not pinned in. They're glued in. But, I mean, for $8. So that's one of the things I wanted to bring up. I use this particular knife a lot for a lot of things. And today I picked it up and I went, oh, it feels different. And it's because of that hole in there where their shield used to be. Now your thumb fits in there. I don't dislike that, actually. It gives you a pretty good grip. It's kind of further back from where you would be holding the knife if you're really cutting with it, because you want to hold it by the kick just so if it closes, you're going to feel it. If you're back here and it goes to close, yeah, you can trust. You can try to risk your fingers on a half stop if it's got one, but it's better to be safe than sorry, and just do it properly. Anyway, I know this is a long, rambly video on stuff, but I just wanted to say that this was really more of talking about Chinese knives and Rough Riders, and while I like them, like I said, I don't get any money from them. You know, I'm not an affiliate or anything. I'm not sponsored by Rough Rider. It just, I'm able to get a bunch of different knives and a bunch of different patterns that if I would have been paying attention throughout my life, I would have bought case and stuff like this and probably picked it up for like $25, $30, you know, gotten a case knife. Now with inflation and everything else, they go up. I mean, but sometimes you just can't get, you just can't afford what you want. I mean, yeah, you can save up. That's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try for 2021 to get a GEC. I'm trying to narrow down what pattern just by looking at videos. Unfortunately, Pete, Jersey Knife Guy, is putting up videos. He says he's going to put up videos of his GECs because he's got like 40 of them, one a day. But he's getting, I'm worried about my buddy. And this is kind of like a video knife response because I try to talk to him in response, you know, on the on a video he has, but he's really getting despondent because he's looking at YouTube and he's looking at the analytics and he's saying, man, the videos that get a lot of views are Chinese flippers, and that's what everybody's into. And the traditional ones, there's not very many people out there that are into traditional knives and everything. And so he's getting despondent. But the thing is, he's not even at 1,000 subscribers yet, so it's not a monetary thing. It's just like he's letting the numbers get to his head. And I just want to tell him that if I were to follow my numbers, my analytics say that sometimes it says that no women watch my videos at all. None of them. Not a single one. The age group was like 45 and up. Nobody under 45, you know, and then the average length of time that was watched on a video was like 2 or 3 minutes. And you're doing like 5, 10, 15-minute videos. So you know that part of it, some people just clicked off. Well, that doesn't necessarily, you look at it, you can read statistics a lot of different ways. So if you look at it and say, okay, here's the length of my video. It's 4 minutes long. This far in, people, the majority of people click off and leave, you know, and go, so I should make my video this long. No, you're going to find out that right here, people start clicking off, you know, and you're just chasing the inches down the line. Who cares about these numbers? The reason to put up a video on a knife is to tell someone how it feels, how much you like it, what you don't like about it, how much it cost, whatever you know, if you're just a collector and you only store them for looks, then fine. Say, I really like the looks of this one. If the people don't like it, then they'll go away, you know. But I mean, back in the day when I loved knives, I didn't have anybody to talk to. I was considered the knife nut, you know. I was the one that they would go borrow a knife from, but they didn't want to listen to why I liked that knife and why you should get a better knife or anything like that. It pretty much was on your own. Now we've got YouTube, and it's a great place, man. You can meet all kinds of people with different kinds of passion for knives, you know, like just from all over the world. Patty's Potato Peelers, you know, he sits there and he puts up with a lot of crap from viewers sometimes. I've actually been through one of those when he had an issue with people, and it's enough to make you want to stop doing what you're doing, which is putting up videos about knives. You know, that's what we come up here for. Not about numbers and not about what's more popular. I mean, you get something like this where somebody, yeah, they're going to use machinery to make some of this and everything, and they're going to assemble it by hand, but the person that did this is a craftsman. You know, you don't know how many of these they're trying to turn out each day and making them look this good. I mean, I don't care what their nationality is, Chinese, Japanese, German, you know. There's a difference between a knife that's been assembled by a human and a knife that's been assembled by a robot. Human knives are going to have imperfections. Nothing's perfect in life. You might as well get used to it. If you're looking for perfection, you're on the wrong planet. You've got the wrong species. And if I do something wrong, like using this knife pick wrong, you know, to open it up, and somebody corrects me, I don't get upset. I'm happy, you know, that someone told me, hey, you're doing that wrong. It's all how you word it. You know, everybody up here is making responses to videos and getting bent out of shape about comments. I welcome all comments, you know. Constructive comments are fine. If you don't like a knife, you think it's a piece of junk, that's fine too. I'm not going to get upset or get mad. You're entitled to your opinion, you know. But when people get on a mission, here's my thing. Here it comes about the the politics of knives, especially about country of origin. All right, if you're gonna hate a Chinese knife because of a virus, because the country is communist or whatever, well then you should also hate German knives because at one time they produced fascists, you know, and we like solid and steel. Do I hate German knives? No. Same thing with Japanese knives. You're gonna hate samurai swords and everything because one time we went to war with, you know, that country. British knives. We're in America. Guess what? We fought against the British Revolutionary War. Should we hate British steel? You know, Sheffield knives? Should we hate all of that? It's crazy. It's crazy to get this involved in here. I understand that people have a lot of issues with China and stuff like that. I don't look at the country of origin on these. You know, I look at the quality and I look at the price that I paid. And if I paid $5 for a knife and the shield fell off, am I going to say, these are junk, don't buy them, they're a piece of crap? And then I go to everybody else's video, and as soon as I can see something about a Chinese knife, I start saying, Chinese are communists, and they do this, and they do that. Yeah, you're pushing your little agenda, and I don't want to hear it, and I'm pretty sure most people don't want to hear it. You don't like Chinese knives? Don't buy them. Don't buy a Chinese phone either. Don't buy a lot of stuff because China has made a lot of stuff in America, a lot more than you realize. You're even eating a lot of food from China. So anyway, I'm getting off on a rant, and feel free to thumbs down this one or put up something on there. I was just trying to say that an inexpensive knife doesn't mean it's cheap. There's a difference between a cheap and inexpensive something, you know, and 440A is not a bad steel. People are getting caught into flipper knives and steel. Yeah, I like you know, new steels. I like flipper knives. This 35VN, pretty good knife. I like my Carta. It's made in China too. Guess what? I can afford it. I love it. I'm gonna carry it the rest of my life. And because this is America, and because I was in the military and fought for your freedom of your opinion, I can keep my own opinion, and I can fight for it. And that is, you can take your ideas about Chinese knives and shove it up your butt, and sit on it, and twirl on it, because I don't care. I don't want to hear it. I didn't want to be, ambiguous, and, I don't know, what's his feelings? What's his feelings on knives, you know? What does he think? Is he only going to buy American? I don't dislike people that do that. If you can afford to buy a GEC knife and you can afford to buy American knives all the time, go for it. I've gotten American knives too. I like them. Some of them are great. Some of them are junk, you know? Most of the junk that you get is just stuff that nowadays is being made in China and is a knockoff or something. And they're not even trying. They're just trying for quantity and not quality. Rough Rider's not like that. Maybe they'll get that way. You know, maybe they'll evolve. Who knows? Anyway, don't let bias hold you back. This is the reason why I'm so much into traditional knives, is because I ignored them. I thought, that's all you can get. You know, like I said, when I was a kid, this was your pocket knife. It's a saber knife made in Japan. Wow. It was only $5. when I got it. It was on like a blister pack. And I just picked out, oh, I like that. And I guess you could kind of call this a copperhead. It's not really a doctor's knife because it's rounded in. It's just an equal end pin blade and main blade, but the main blade is not, super drop pointy or anything. Anyway, that's all we had, And it was a great knife, still is. I'm leaving it in this kind of like rustyish kind of condition. We got most of the rust off, but just to remind me, I don't always take care of my knives, not as well as I should. So beater knives, you can abuse and they'll still come back. Pretty pristine little knife that flips and can't take any dust and messes up. Latest fad, you got to chase the latest fad, latest car, ooh, fashion, like clothes fashion, ooh, this is the latest thing, you got to wear this. Why? Sheep, I don't want sheep around me, Sheep just follow the leader. Oh, this is the latest thing. And then every once in a while, another sheep will come up and try to come up with a little bit newer Chinese knife and say, hey, look, I'm the lead sheep now. Follow me. I've got the best thing. It's not for me. I like traditional knives. Right now, I might get into something else. I messed around with balisongs a little bit back in the day, but I only got one, and I don't mess around with it anymore. Just don't do it, Nothing against balisongs. Nothing against any of this. It's just don't let statistics drive your reason for making a video. To me, it's like you communicate with like-minded people. And maybe they don't like the same kind of knife. That's fine, but you know what? They gotta have liked knives or like sharp objects because they wouldn't be watching videos about knives and sharp objects. You've got a choice of what you can watch. And if you want to watch somebody ramble on about idiotic stuff like I'm doing, then you watch it. If you don't want to and you click off, that's fine with me too, I don't take it personal. If somebody doesn't like my video or doesn't watch it, that's fine. They've got a choice of what they can do and what they want to do. If I don't have the latest knife that's come out, well, just going to have to wait. Can't always get what you want. Sometimes you got to save up. I get paid once a month, so I got to do my knife buying at the beginning of the month, and if I got any money saved up, it usually gets sucked up at the end because some buyer on eBay will say, hey, you've been interested in this knife. How about if I gave you $5 off? Would you buy it then? I'm making you a special offer. And you're like, damn, I shouldn't buy any more knives. But my rent's paid, and I got food, electricity, everything's covered, so yeah, I'll go with that little deal. That's usually what happens. That's what happens on a lot of knives. Even especially on eBay, if you're just looking at them and you're just watching, and all you've done is watch it. You haven't bid on it, or anything. You're just looking at it. If it's not up for bid and it's just up for sale, sometimes the seller will make you a special offer. Sometimes it's not that much, and sometimes it's significant, So anyway, it can be done buying knives in America, on a budget, but you're going to have to limit your purchases. This one's like $30. It's basically a canoe. You can get a sunfish, a marble sunfish, for $13. And $13, My thought was I was going to dye these scales orange, but I think I want to get another one just to experiment on because I like the white bone on this. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to keep this guy original, but $13, man. You got yourself a little workhorse. These are strong springs on these, so you got to watch the action. Watch it when you open them, but they're solid. They're designed to be like beat on and baton with. They feel your hand. They're just good little blades, not really little. After a while, if you get different ones, like there's some that are really easy to close. And with this one, it doesn't get any, I know it's a great sound like that, but if I start getting into better knives, I can't do that because they're going to get pin wrap on here, but this one doesn't get it. So, you know, and then the secondary blade is damn near as big as your regular size blades. So, sorry, anyway, I threw a little mini review in there of that. But, yeah, my buddy Peter, man, don't get yourself down. Don't knock yourself out on statistics or you can't buy a knife very often or whatever. Look at me, man. I can manage it. So you've got plenty of knives. You don't have to buy any knives for a while. I mean, if you've got 40 GECs in a tube, you've got some video material there. I guarantee you somebody's going to watch it. If not now, then in the future, somebody's going to want to buy a GEC pattern number, whatever, is going to say, wow, this guy, Jersey Knife Guy, put this video up. Huh, he used to be really popular. I wonder why he quit putting up videos. He's getting a lot of views now, but he's into RC cars, you know, drones, whatever. You know, he went off to something else. Yeah, you can do it, Peter. I mean, you can stick around with it if you want, or you can leave. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying that people are here, like what you do. They watch what you make and stuff, you know. They watch your videos. It may not show up on analytics. Sometimes that can be somebody paused your video or stopped it and then came back to it and watched it later. According to YouTube, you know, they only watched 10 seconds of it or whatever. But they were like, oh yeah, this is good. I can't watch it right now. I'm going to go off and do something else. Anyway, I'm going to have to edit this. I'm going to have to speed it up or something. I'm going to put it up. And it's going to be a, you know, a long video. And I bounced the camera. I'm not always on topic. I wandered around. But, yeah, it's a great time to be alive. It's a great time to be in knives. And YouTube is a good place to share your passion for whatever you're into.